What if I told you that one of the most powerful leaders in Nigeria wasn't a politician or celebrity, but an ordinary woman named Iyalate? In the city of Ibadan, she was a beacon of warmth and wisdom, known for transforming her home into a sanctuary for those in need. She'll welcome you, feed you, and make you feel like everything was going to be okay. She saw the best in people, and her whole presence radiated encouragement, as she knew that to encourage is to empower. She was also a funny one. Picture this. Two women caught in a heated argument went over to Iyalate's house only for Iyalate to calmly lay down and take a nap. Why? Because she believed her presence alone can create a safe space for conflict resolution. And guess what? It worked. At Iyalate's, people didn't just feel welcome. They felt seen, heard, and valued. Imagine a world where the true essence of leadership is redefined, not by the number of followers you have or the power of your influence, but by the simple act of encouragement. Iyalate embodied this quality, something we often overlook in today's society. We live in an era that glorifies people who could sway us to buy products or follow trends. But what if greatness isn't reserved for the smartest minds in Fortune 500 companies or the most famous influencers like Beyonce? What if, to be a great leader, you must first become an encourager? My name is Tomi the Encourager. Tomi is short for Oluwa Tomi Si, which means God is enough for me. In my culture, names have a deep meaning that reflect values that help shape a child's character. And with the meaning of my name, Tomi, it holds values of my character of being an encourager. Growing up as a Nigerian American girl in the city of Los Angeles, I was your Black nerdy girl who focused on good grades and staying out of trouble. However, I faced many challenges like being bullied for my dark skin, my cultural background, and not fitting what people called cool at the time. I had short hair and wore pants that were above my ankles, which is now in style. These experiences left me feeling isolated as I struggled through depression, anxiety, and identity issues. I tried to change myself to fit in, but none of it brought the acceptance I sought. I came to the realization that I could no longer view my differences as weaknesses. Rather, they are my superpowers. Who I am today has allowed me to build safe and welcoming spaces for others to be their true and authentic selves. Through my faith, support from my family and community, and guidance from mental health professionals, I discovered that true acceptance starts from within. The moment I stopped trying to fit in was the moment I began to live. Now, this awakening dawned on me during my early 20s as I was trying to look for an internship for school in order for me to graduate with my bachelor's degree in healthcare administration. I sent a number of emails to different public health departments, but nobody got back to me. I was caught in an endless red tape of miscommunication. It was frustrating, but y'all, I was determined. Later, Instead of me emailing a particular health department, I went on their website, filled out an internship application packet, printed it, took my resume, and drove down to the health department to meet the volunteer coordinator in person. When I got there, I met a petite and funny woman named Miss Susie at the front desk. I told her my name and my interest in an internship. Miss Susie heard me out and told me to call some numbers down as she wrote it on a small Post-it note. As I was walking towards my car, I get a call from Miss Susie, and she said, "Tomi, come back to the office. I just feel like I need to help you more." Immediately, I hurried back to her. And as soon as I got there, Miss Susie said, "Let's see if we can get you a lead on getting an internship by calling some folks." As Miss Susie was about to pick up the phone, a woman came into the office. Right away, Miss Susie turned to her and said, "Miss Barbara Cole, I have a new intern for you, and her name is Tomi. Tomi is amazing, eager to help, and is passionate about public health." Now, y'all, I was stunned. Because Miss Susie was saying all these kind words about me. Mind you, she barely just met me. She don't know me like that. After that, Miss Barbara Cole, who is the branch chief of that health department, told me to follow her to her office. As soon as we got there, she said, "I will take you on as my intern." That day, I proudly walked out of that health department with an internship. Miss Susie knew that to encourage is to empower. At the time, I did not realize that my encounter with Miss Susie would help me start my public health career. Miss Susie saying all those kind words to Miss Barbara Cole helped validate my reason for me going to her office that day and encouraged me. As you're hearing my story, you may be wondering, oh, Miss Susie's probably the supervisor for that office, so of course she can help so easily. However, no. Miss Susie was an office assistant, but her help and support to me that day showed so much of a leader she was and still is today. Her empathy inspired me to be an encourager to everyone I meet. Encouragement is more than just words. It's the beautiful act of uplifting someone with support, confidence, and hope. We see this action worldwide and locally here in the city of Riverside. It's a friend holding space for you as you navigate a tough issue. A boss easing your workload when you're feeling burnt out. And your grandparents making your favorite meal when you come to visit them. Like Iya Alate in my Nigerian culture, we all embody the spirit of encouraging and supporting others. Because to be a great leader, you must first become an encourager. Research by Mingwei Tsai and Ken Blanchard highlights servant leadership where leaders prioritize others' well-being. Blanchard describes this as flipping the leadership pyramid where the leaders serve their teams for their teams to serve others. To be a great leader who prioritizes others' well-being, I developed what I call the 3 building blocks of effective encouragement in leadership. Competing only with yourself, authenticity, and relationships. The first 3 letters spell out car. And just like a car, think of encouragement as the driving force for you to be a great leader in your community. Competing only with yourself is a game changer in how we approach life and leadership. Because in today's world, we're often motivated to compete and outshine others in careers and relationships. However, an encourager adopts a different mindset, focusing not on competing with anyone else, but on improving themselves to better support and encourage others. They don't view others as rivals, but as individuals to uplift and inspire through their purpose. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players ever, once said in an interview, "I'm not competing with somebody else. I'm competing with what I'm capable of." Think about that. This is a man widely considered one of the greatest athletes of all time, yet his motivation wasn't on dominating the court against a specific player or proving others wrong. His focus was on outperforming this version of himself from the day before. When you take his mindset to encouragement, you learn that by supporting others, you naturally get supported too. The giver's gift. Zig Ziglar, a renowned motivational speaker, says it plainly. If you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. Encouragement is reciprocal. As you're encouraging others, you're also encouraging yourself too. It pushes you to be a better friend, coach, and person, and it gives you a sense of fulfillment and a boost of energy as you watch others grow and succeed. Because to encourage is to empower, and that type of positivity bounces back to you. Authenticity. The key to being an encourager is to find your authentic style. Encouragement doesn't mean being overly cheerful or having a happy face like mine. Authenticity is about showing up for others even during tough times. When you're honest about your own struggles, it creates a safe space for others to open up and build connections. It says, "I'm human too, and we're in this together." Being authentic is about being personable. And as encouragers in leadership, we don't have to pretend to have it all figured out. Instead, we show others that it's okay to not be okay. Real encouragement begins by offering support that's true to who you are. For some, it could be a kind word or smile. For others, it could be listening. Knowing that your presence with the person you are with is enough. Encouragement doesn't have to look the same for everyone. What matters is that it comes from a genuine place, because the most powerful encouragement comes from simply being you. Relationships. Encouragement thrives in building relationships. By taking the time to invest in meaningful relationships, you begin to see people's areas on where they can grow and succeed. A few years ago, I had a colleague who had incredible ideas, but struggled with confidence in presenting them at work. We started having regular conversations where I listened to them, asked questions, and reflected on their input. Over time, they began to see in themselves what I already saw in them and started speaking up in meetings. Encouragement wasn't just about the words to them. It was the trust built through our relationship that gave those words power. Research from Martin Seligman on positive psychology and Angela Duckworth's research on grit highlight how positive social interactions, like giving encouragement, boost our serotonin levels that can improve our confidence, overall well-being, and resiliency. According to the American Psychological Association, motivated employees not only work better, they are happier, engaged, and more collaborative. And financially, disengaged employees cost companies billions annually due to productivity loss and turnover. Building relationships promotes growth and spreads positivity. Know that encouragement is more than a moment of support. It's a transformation. When you approach life of uplifting and helping others, you create a win-win situation. And isn't that what being a great leader is all about? So I leave you with this. Don't compete with anyone else. Instead, improve on yourself every single day. Compete with who you were yesterday, not just in your skill set, but in your ability to uplift and encourage others. I invite you today to be an encourager to someone and start creating a thriving society of encouragers, a new generation of service leaders who understand the impact of showing up for others. Because to be a great leader, you must first become an encourager. Remember, to encourage is to empower. The world needs more encouragers. Are you in?